Today we are doing a last-minute scramble here in California, headed down to Baja, Mexico. By tonight, we will be down in the wine country of Baja, Mexico. We have a 4-hour ride today, 3 hours before we hit the border, plus a border crossing, and then we'll be at our RV park in the wine country. Since we got this 3-hour ride before we get to the border to enter into Mexico, I figure we'll use some of this time to catch up with you guys on what we've been up to, where we've been, and what we've been doing when we're not making videos. After leaving Colorado, we went to our favorite fall work time gig where I turned wrenches on boats again, while Marissa went to New Jersey in order to do our Airbnb maintenance and restocking.
And set up another property while I was there. So I was in New Jersey and I was in Vermont, checking on our Airbnbs, setting up another property that we'll manage that's somebody else's property. So if you have a house, we can take care of it for you on Airbnb and manage it for you.
And while she was doing that, I made a whole bunch of money, like I said before, working on boats. And after leaving Utah, we headed to Arizona to hang out with Jensen Adventures and do a bunch of Baja prep.
Check their channel out, we'll link it below.
And after leaving their house, we headed to basically Palm Springs, California to meet up with the group of people that we're headed down to Baja with for the winter. And so we met at a casino. Oh my gosh, these roads are terrible. Wow, bouncy. We met at a casino and spent about 4 days there waiting on the last couple to join us. They were having some electrical problems with their trailer wiring harness, and now we're headed south. So
today it is Thanksgiving, so we are going to celebrate our Thanksgiving in Mexico with our friends eating some tacos. We've been looking forward to this all summer. So the group that we're with, we've been with all summer. They were all in Alma, Colorado, where we worked this past summer. We just got all reunited together within the last 24 hours, and now we're gonna make our way through the border today and go eat some tacos for Thanksgiving dinner.
Alex and Diana are the most veteran group of Baja goers. Marissa and I have been to Baja twice. If you haven't seen our videos before, our first year in Baja, we had a major breakdown. Second year, we had redemption, where we went back and had a great time with the same truck. And this is our first year down there with the new 5500. Jackson and Jeannie, who are friends of ours, they are newbies to Baja, never been before. So they got all the butterflies going. We were talking about it last night, about just having a little bit of nerves before heading down over the border for the first time. But Alex and Diana thankfully have been to the area of Baja that we're headed today, where Marissa and I have never been there before, which is kind of nice for us because this is something fresh, where Baja, the way we've gone down in the past, it's kind of just a repetitive route. So we're excited to see wine country, aka the Napa of Baja. One more fuel stop before we cross the border, and that's going to be in El Centro, and then we're crossing in through Tecate. So in the past, we've always crossed in through Mexicali East, which is known for being the easiest RV border crossing. Tecate, I've also heard, is very easy, but this will be our first time doing it, so a little bit of extra stress about just figuring out where you got to park the rigs, where you got to go into your FMM office.
If you don't know what an FMM is, it's basically like our visa allowing us to be there. You get it for 6 months, so we get our Mexican insurance. We get ours through Oscar Padilla. The most common ones are Baja Bound and Oscar Padilla. That's who we use for our Mexican insurance. And then you get your FMM stamped, so you have to go get a piece of paperwork. It's approximately $40 per person, and it basically allows you to be there for an extended amount of time that we're going to be there for. They do say that if you're staying in the Northern Territory, which is the Baja California, you don't need it. But we're going down to the Baja California Sur, which is where you need it. So we get it. It's just precautionary. Rather be safe than sorry. They've never checked for it on the way back, but our luck, we wouldn't get it, and then they would. So we get it every time.
So when she's talking about insurance, she means car insurance, not health insurance.
I do mean car insurance.
And what I learned last night from our friend Al is that your car insurance is not valid without an FMM. So keep that in mind too. If you don't get your FMM when you are at the border the first time, you have to leave the country, go back out and re-enter in order to get that FMM. So make sure it's priority when you're doing your border crossing. We're just cruising along here on our last stretch before going across the border in Tecate. We have 22 minutes left. I gotta pee. The plan is to park outside of the border crossing, have 3 people go over and get the FMMs. The other 3 will stay with the vehicles, and then we'll head across the border and see if they take any of our meat or a little bit of produce, stuff like that. Hopefully, it's the smoothest border crossing of all time. As usual, when you have a plan, the plan goes out the window. We wanted to try and park ahead of time to go get our FMMs, but it looks like there is no really good way to get your FMM without doing the border crossing here in Tecate, or at least we can't figure it out. So we pulled over at a gas station to reconvene, go to the bathroom, and then now we're gonna do the border crossing, try and find parking after the border crossing, then walk back, get the FMMs, and then proceed on.
We got through the border, piece of cake. We're going now to park and go back to get our FMM.
We drove ahead and tried to find parking for Jackson and Jeannie and Alex and Diana, and there just was no suitable parking. And they felt like they weren't comfortable trying to get their rigs up the narrow roads in order to get back here, so they walked, and now Marissa is headed to get our FMMs, and then we'll be on our merry way to the beautiful land of wine country in Baja. Marissa had a wonderful experience getting the FMMs. It took at least an hour for the group to come back. They probably had to walk about a half mile each way. They basically had to exit the country and come back in. And ultimately, we should have walked from that gas station that we were earlier in order to try and get our FMMs, but we didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. And so we're on our way to the Guadalupe RV park in order to get ourselves set up for the night, and we'll be there just about an hour and a half, probably short of sundown, so timing it perfectly. We left from California this morning at what, about 9 o'clock, and be to our destination right around 4, so not bad. We made it to our RV park. Marissa's popping champagne in there. We got Team Tow Behind over here, getting themselves set up. We're gonna stay here, I think, at least 2 days, so they're disconnecting. That way we'll be able to use their truck in order to get into town. And then we got Team Class C Motorhome over here. They're all set up too. And we're getting ready for our first night here in Mexico. This is our cat's third time in Mexico. Our third time with the RV in Mexico. And Marissa's got a bunch of solo cups of delicious champagne for the whole group.
How many times have Alex and I moved?
They're moving again?
Yeah.
Hey, stop working. It's celebratory drink time.
Do that. Champagne. Champagne. We all need
So we made it. So we made it toast.
My dog's piss in a bag.
Yes.
Oh, you got the two of
Yep.
them?
Oh, you're trying to set up Starlink before you drink? You can't do that.
Louise.
That's champagne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just a sip, and then I'll finish it, or I'll finish it. Little taste, just so that you can cheers with us. This is for Al.
He's all business.
No, that's a baby one for Al.
Here, Diana.
Diana's like, don't give me that. I don't want baby shit.
Cheers, we made it to Mexico.
Cheers.
We met a nice little puppy right there. Yeah. Zuri too.
You want to cheers with us?
Do you want a new mommy?
You want to cheers with us? Come on, buddy boy. You can cheers with us.
She.
She?
She's got a.
Okay.
Look at that
she
face.
Vagina.
Cheers. Cheers.
She's like, no, I'm too young and I even know that.
She likes me and hell, that's funny.
Can I see your ID?
A lot of the dogs.
They're also
dogs are super friendly.
Doesn't take long to find a Baja dog in Baja.
Did you just
You know where you're going? Everything's good?
Yeah.
Thank
We
you.
got veterans with us.
Yeah.
Good, muy bien. Well, if you need anything at all, my number's on the door.
Okay,
Up in
thank
the bathroom, just
Thank you.
WhatsApp me. It's
Yep.
best because again, the phone can be ringing in my back pocket and people be looking at me. I'm like, why is everybody staring at me? So I always check my messages, so.
No better way to start off a Baja trip than with some tacos. So we're packing into the truck, Janie and Jackson's truck that is, and going to get some tacos. Yeah, there's tons of space back
We're
there.
going
Al and
like
I
a
are-
mile or so.
Yeah,
Al
we're
and I
good.
can get cozy.
We gotta get used to
We're
it.
butt to butt.
It's not Mexico
As
if you're
long
not
as it's
stuffing
not
yourselves
butt to
into the back
butt.
seat.
Not at all.
Pole to
It's on the
pole
bumper.
or pole to hole.
No.
No,
No.
never,
Pole to
never
pole,
pole to hole.
or hole to hole.
Never pole to hole.
I say butt tonight.
Push that seat.
I'm saving that for you two
This?
guys.
Yeah.
The only thing you'll deal with is sometimes
Thanks for
you're going to be
letting
like,
us stop
why
and-
are these spots? This road is like the main drag of this area, Valle De Guadalupe, but then where the road forks.
So we're just driving around looking for a taqueria. There's a bunch. Some are closed, some are open. It's not that late. It's maybe 5 o'clock, but we found one. Meat on a stick. It's what we're looking for. Hola. ¿Cómo está?
You guys want one taco?
How many do you order?
5.
I did too.
Dos asada, dos adobada.
From here says margaritas were incredibly refreshing.
Is that straight back towards the park?
Those tacos were delicious. I got 4 tacos of varying types, 2 asada, 1 adobo. The other one was chorizo. They were freaking delicious. And it was a total of 270 pesos, which I think comes out to about $14 or $15. Marissa got 2 more tacos, so 6 tacos, 2 drinks, $14. Now we're on the hunt for some margaritas on our first night here in Baja.
It really is black.
It's so, I love it with the blue.
What did you get?
An activated charcoal and mezcal cocktail. See how it is.
Ordering other drinks?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have
Oh,
no
yeah.
plans.
Margarita's great.
Yeah, it's very good.
Mysterio Negro.
It's only $5.15.
Not good?
Is my tongue black?
We're already getting
No.
close to Baja Midnight.
Yeah. I'm looking forward
Does
to
it
it.
taste good though?
That's great.
Hey, do our like
Yeah, it
Netflix
tastes
and stuff
delicious.
still work here?
Download.
Oh,
I don't think.
what is all that on the bottom?
I didn't get that.
Charcoal.
I didn't get any of that.
All charcoal. Back here at the campground, I am chilling in the camper, doing some editing on my new laptop. Marissa's out hanging out with all our friends, and this is probably what the rest of the night's gonna look like. So we'll pick you guys up in the morning. Good morning. It's actually more like mid-morning at this point. We've been just having a slow morning here on our first full day in Baja. It's a little cloudy and overcast, and Marissa and I basically every morning wake up and do a combination of two things: work out and then do computer work. So right now Marissa's inside doing some tax preparation for our accountant as the end of the year is coming around. I did a whole bunch of editing this morning, put out a little YouTube short, Instagram reel, TikTok video. If you don't follow us on TikTok and Instagram, be sure to. It's the same name, at the Cummins Camper. But it's my turn to get in a workout here this morning. Now that that workout's over, I wanted to go over with you guys a bunch of the maintenance and upgrades we've done to the truck and the rig in preparation for Baja, and also just because some of them we were due for. But under the hood, we have taken care of a coolant flush. I had a clogged up heater core. Noticed that when it was cold in Utah. Also did a grid heater delete. If you're aware of what that is with the 6.7 Cummins, the nut that holds up the grid heater is notorious for failing and being ingested into the motor, causing you to need a whole new motor. So we have an aftermarket setup on there for our grid heater now that will provide the engine the warmth it needs in order to fire up in cold weather without risk of ingesting something and killing our 6.7 Cummins. Also did a 5-inch turbo back with the help of Bridgie that I work with in Utah. We had a 4-inch turbo back on there from the factory, and now we have a 5-inch turbo back exhaust on this truck. Sounds way better, flows much better. That with the grid heater has lowered our EGTs quite a bit. I also did an oil change, did a transmission fluid change, put a deeper transmission fluid pan on there to hold more fluid. That was a pain in the butt. The gasket that came with the aftermarket pan leaked. A factory gasket leaked. The only thing that worked was gray RTV, but thankfully we are leak free now. Another thing we did for the transmission was a tune from PPEI. They are one of the first companies to have a tune available for this transmission. That's in our Ram 5500. Changes the shift points, makes it all sorts of improvements. Also had the engine retuned by a company out of Canada. We won't say what we did, but we did things. And then coming around to the back of the camper where you would normally see the dirt bike, we have left that back in Arizona with Jensen Adventures. The reason we didn't bring the dirt bike is, realistically, there's only a few places that I would use it as a commuter. And then you still have to worry about the risk of theft. You know, you're not gonna be able to get your dirt bike back here in Mexico for the most part. So we'll leave that at home and just deal with walking or getting rides with our friends who have cars. The last exterior modification that we made is the one I'm probably the most proud of. We got a Clear Source 3-stage water filter that I mounted to the back of this lower toolbox and set up with quick connects on each side so that we could super easily fill up our water tank while filtering it much better than we have in the past. If you've been watching our videos for a while, we use those little blue water filters from varying brands, and those only filter down to 20 microns. This filters down to 0.5. It's not a sponsored video. They're super popular. They're the most common brand in my opinion for water filters. But over here, if you look closely, you can see the quick connect for the fill side, which I could bring out to here, which I might. The discharge side is over here. I just have some PEX and some shark fittings from Home Depot and quick connect on the outside. So this is the discharge, like I said before, it goes straight up to the tanks. And what's great is most people have to store these filters somewhere. You know, it takes up a ton of space. Having it on the back side of the toolbox keeps it out of sight, out of mind, and theoretically it should be fine. If water can stay in those filters, my hope is dirt and dust will stay out. I might try and design some stuff to make it more professional and protected from the elements. But going inside the camper, things we've done in here, a 12-volt Starlink conversion, pretty rad one. So in this closet, oh, it fell, haha. I had it with command strips, I'll have to re-adhere that. But our 12-volt router lives up here. Behind our TV is where our battery's at, and that's also where I put the rest of the 12-volt Starlink conversion, the PoE injector, and this thing that converts from the Starlink cable to a regular Ethernet RJ45 type connection. I also needed to replace the speaker that's up in the bedroom because it was making like a crackling noise, and in turn, of course, I just replaced all the speakers in the whole place. Put in these Rockford Fosgates. They needed a spacer because they're pretty tall and they actually move some volume unlike the factory speakers, so did that. So the one flaw to the diesel heater, which I cleaned by the way as one of our maintenance items, that diesel heater does not have the propulsion and power to push air to all of the factory ducting outlets. The one that is the problem is the one up in the bedroom because it has so much vertical height for the air to go, it would not functionally work well and would cause the heater to overheat. So I had a friend use a 3D printer of his to make a nozzle, and then I took a computer brushless fan and attached that to it, and now that blows the ambient warm air that is above the diesel heater in that compartment up to the bedroom, just giving us a little bit more air volume up there. That was long-winded. I also added an auto transfer switch down by our circuit breaker setup. If you don't know what an auto transfer switch is, it allows your inverter to power all the outlets within your camper as though you're plugged into shore power and you're running off of your batteries. What is advantageous about that is we were living off of, I don't know if you can see it down there real low, but that one outlet was our only source of 110 in the whole camper. So laptops, you name it. If we weren't plugged into shore power, we were living off of that, unless it was our phones, 12-volt stuff. Now, laptops can be plugged into this outlet. Our air conditioning can run off of our 3000 watt Renogy inverter. That's pretty sick. It obviously wouldn't run that long, but if we needed to cool the camper off so the cat could be in a parking lot for a couple hours, bang. If you watched our previous video while we were in Colorado, you watched me light the fridge from the outside. Well, I replaced the igniter on that. It's been working flawlessly. We also are able to run our fridge on AC current through the auto transfer switch off of our inverter. So yesterday, for example, we had like 8 hours in the truck, and that whole time the fridge was running off of AC electric rather than DC. The DC doesn't do a great job of keeping your fridge cold when the air temperature outside is warm, but the AC has plenty of power to do that, but you do not recharge your camper's battery nearly as efficiently. Even with our 880 watts of solar and a 50 amp DC to DC charger, you're just drawing juice to power that fridge. I also added a Camco electric hot water heater element. It runs off of 110, can also run off of our inverter, but what's sweet about that is you can have hot water now when we're on shore power or driving down the road, and it doesn't have to come from propane alone. So energy sustainability there, not having to use propane in order to have hot water in the camper. The last thing we did was I added a PV switch on the roof of the camper. I know that's an exterior item, and now we're doing interior stuff, but I forgot. We've been just essentially raw dogging solar from the sun into our batteries with not enough fusible items in the way. We have a circuit breaker on the output side from the solar controller, but we didn't have anything protecting those wires between the solar panels and the solar controller. So now we have a proper PV switch up there that is at the designated 40 amps. That would be what our solar controller is a little above powering. So that way, you know, if there's an issue, trips the breaker, then we know we have a problem. So that kind of wraps up all of our pre-Baja prep. Oh, one other thing that I just remembered, we changed up the way the back seat is laid out. Because of the fact that we don't have the dirt bike, we now have a ton of space in the back seat. So I added 3 more 6-gallon jerry cans, giving us a total of 4. So we have 24 gallons of fresh water in the back seat, combined with our 67 gallons of fresh water that we carry in the camper due to our second water tank, giving us a combined total of, what is that, 91 plus whatever's in the hot water heater. So that's like 96, 98 gallons of fresh water that we're able to have while here in Baja. So the rest of the day is, I think, going to be going to wineries. Our friends just ran to the vet and they're going to come back, and then we're all going winery hopping. So I guess before we go to the winery, I'll show you guys what the shower situations are like at a campground here in Baja. Showers in Baja vary dramatically. Do not expect them to all be hot water. Do not expect them all to have good pressure. Do not expect all of them to be free of bugs. This one happens to have none of those issues and be a super nice shower setup for Baja. In here you will find 2 showers, 1 urinal, and 1 pooper. I am going to be using this shower stall. Oddly enough, hot is on the right. From a shower standpoint, nothing to complain about. Really quite lovely. I did run it on full hot the whole time in order for it to feel like the hot that you're expecting, but it maintained the whole time, and I probably took a 15-minute shower. Now, time to go to a winery.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way. We got everything here, at least to stay alive. And the time that we share makes it all worthwhile. Got this place on our own. Do you feel that we got something strong?
Instagram.
And I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise.
So I don't really know what to expect here at today's winery, but it's wine, so we're gonna all be happy. There are apparently 26 wineries that we know of in this little region, and we're gonna try and sample as many as we can while we're here.
No label because these are very low productions. So we make just 600 bottles.
Is it bubbly?
Yeah.
Can I buy the glass or only the bottle?
No, it's just by bottle.
I'll split it with you.
Okay, we'll have this, please.
Okay.
2 glasses.
2 glasses.
2 glasses?
Yes, please.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. Oh, that's beautiful. It's nice, right?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, this is beautiful.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way.
So 2/3 of the group ended up getting a sampler of wine. We ended up, you can talk. Don't feel like me talking is gonna interrupt you talking. I'm just talking to my friend over here. You guys just talk to your friends. Marissa and I got champagne. I don't know if it's Prosecco, champagne, what they define it as, but bubbly wine. And it's really delicious. It was, what, 700 pesos for the bottle? So that's about $35.
790 pesos.
$35 for a bottle. Kind of American prices, but still delicious.
Any day. Yeah, you can. And then we got that other one now too, the latte maker.
I was saying like it's like a pressure cooker where it has a pressure gauge on it.
Winery number 1 was awesome, and we're headed to winery number 2 now. Maybe grab some food on our way.
Everybody from the group is kind of hungry, so we're thinking tacos. All right, so we moved on from the winery to another taco spot. We're gonna taco hop around town tonight and check out this torta that I got.
It comes in like with our mail is coming in.
Oh, I see.
I want to know what it is. And they put it in. It's probably just good enough that they. Yeah, they just.
You want a bite?
In it. Yeah, it's good. Oh yeah, no, it's building. It looks good.
What's that? Oh, you can find it on me.
No, there's like. Okay. Oh yeah.
That's delicious.
Yeah.
I really mind missing like a little bit of heat.
Jalapeno?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. No, it's the flavor is great. Not about here.
Your is like guacamole sauce.
Yeah.
Can I take a little bite of the jalapeno? I don't need an actual bite.
Next round of tacos is being consumed on somebody's flatbed. We don't know who it is, but we know there's alfalfa, and I learned that you can't feed alfalfa to cows. Only horses.
Horses love it.
Everybody's getting consistently the adobada, which is right off the spit. Am I right about that?
Mm-hmm. I think he used a cheaper cut of pork, but the flavor's great. You guys want any onions? We got a bunch here.
I'm all right. Marissa threw so much sauce on there. Or hot sauce.
I squeezed them on both already.
Oh, well, I regret this.
Okay.
Maybe a small bite of it. Maybe. Go for it.
Look at
You'll feel it. You'll feel alive.
Is there $1? So good.
These tacos
Prego's
were
right
only
next to us.
$1.
Look at Prego right there.
Oh yeah.
I feel bad for her.
Cool.
It's a tough day.
$1.
I like it.
Oh yeah. This kind of like synchronous thing.
I'll be here.
Like that kind of thing. It's like a barrel with a jumbo water. That's for sure.
We're on to our next taco adventure.
They are really cute.
Cheers. Well, it's the next day and we are about to start packing everything up so we can get out of here, as we're going to be heading further south into the Baja Peninsula. If you've watched the video to this point, big thank you for being here. You're probably already subscribed. If you're not, be sure to do so. If you're interested in Baja content for probably the next 4 months, that's what we're going to be doing down here. The next video, we will be in our favorite part of Baja, Bahia de Concepcion, where there are possibly the most beautiful beaches in the whole peninsula. Some people decide they're just gonna stay there all winter. That's our next destination. Thanks again, bye.
Take me back to Mexico, that can sun would turn the sun or high on me, wanted to vibe with me. Take me back to Mexico, that can sun would turn the sun, you were high on me, wanted to vibe with me.